Welcome back to the Mundo channel, where we help high net worth individuals protect their assets, secure multiple citizenships, and legally minimize taxes. Contact us for personalized strategies. Malta has recently ended its long-standing citizenship by investment scheme and is launching a new model based on merit. This change marks a clear shift away from the pay-for-passport approach and brings Malta more in line with places like Austria, where the door to citizenship opens only after careful case-by-case assessments. So what does citizenship by merit actually mean? Unlike programs in Turkey or the Caribbean, where you know the price up front and the rules are clear-cut, Malta's new system is far more subjective. In Austria, for example, there's no set donation or investment threshold. Each application is decided on its own merits by government officials, who look closely at the background, potential, and value of every applicant. Malta's new approach mirrors this, targeting entrepreneurs who build businesses and create jobs, philanthropists who launch projects or found charities, and innovators who make a real difference. Someone who opens a school, establishes a major charity, or founds a startup that hires Maltese citizens might well be considered. The focus is on creating real measurable impact for Malta, not just paying a fee. But with this new model come new strings attached. Unlike before, citizenship is not permanent or unconditional. Malta's government makes it explicit. Your citizenship can be revoked if you stop contributing. Imagine an American entrepreneur who comes to Malta, starts a business, employs locals, invests €1 million, and is awarded citizenship. If that person later moves their business to another country, Malta reserves the right to take back the citizenship. This kind of conditional arrangement marks a huge departure from what investors got under the previous program, where citizenship once granted was permanent and secure. There's an important exception. Anyone who became a citizen under Malta's investment program before this change is safe. Their citizenship cannot be revoked on these grounds, creating a situation where some Maltese citizens effectively enjoy more secure status than others. This all raises real concerns for future applicants. With no set fees or investment amounts, every decision becomes a negotiation with the government. The required contribution might be hundreds of thousands or tens of millions of euros, depending on who you are and what you can offer. Success may depend as much on who you know and how well you make your case as it does on any official criteria. Due diligence periods could be as short as a couple of months or as long as 3 years, and there's absolutely no guarantee of success. And perhaps most worrying of all, your status as a citizen will always be under review. Malta isn't alone in this move. Hungary and Slovakia offer similar merit-based citizenship routes, while Poland's president has discretionary powers to grant citizenship to those who make a substantial contribution. The trend in these countries, however, is to grant secure citizenship without ongoing business operation requirements. The United Arab Emirates takes exclusivity to another level, generally expecting investments of $50 to $100 million, and looking for applicants whose projects fundamentally change the country. There too, once you're in, your status is much less conditional. The European Union itself is at the center of Malta's evolution. Under pressure from EU courts that objected to the overt sale of citizenship, Malta is reinventing its approach to placate Brussels. But even as countries argue about the value of EU citizenship, benefits are starting to erode. Borders are going up within the Union, driven by mounting immigration pressures. That cherished EU passport doesn't guarantee the same freedom of movement it once did, as countries like Poland and Hungary impose controls on fellow EU neighbors. Increasingly, the advantages of EU citizenship boil down to the specific country, not just broad union membership. Ireland, for example, is often touted for its English language and business ties, but now faces mounting costs tied to immigration and increased scrutiny over its programs. The lesson is clear. It is smarter to assess individual countries for stability and opportunity rather than chasing a generic EU passport. What does this all mean for global citizenship seekers? The era of Caribbean-style programs with fixed price tags seems to be waning. Governments are favoring subjective, merit-driven models for new citizens, who must not only be wealthy, but willing to align themselves long-term with their chosen country's national interests. This selectivity buys goodwill with critics, but also creates complexity and sometimes discourages investors seeking clarity and security. Some countries represent compelling alternatives. In Latin America, nations like Chile, Paraguay, Argentina, and Uruguay offer relatively simple pathways to residency and citizenship, free from endless scrutiny, shifting requirements, and conditional obligations. They provide both tax advantages and business flexibility that are increasingly hard to find in Europe's evolving programs. Ultimately, Malta's previous citizenship program had a clear price tag, over €1 million in donations, investment, and fees, but with the security of knowing that once you had citizenship, it couldn't be revoked. The merit-based alternative comes with hidden costs, ambiguous standards, and unprecedented government control over your future status. For truly committed entrepreneurs eager to plant deep roots in Malta, it could make sense. But for those seeking mostly EU convenience, the risks now outweigh the opportunities. Applicants must now prepare for exhaustive background checks, rigorous documentation, and a review process that is anything but predictable. Professional advice and experienced guidance are more vital than ever to navigate the subjective world of Malta's new approach. In sum, Malta's shift from investment to merit-based citizenship addresses some criticisms from the European Union, but introduces new levels of uncertainty and risk. The game has changed for international citizenship seekers, and not always in their favor. If you want to reduce your taxes to single digits, make your assets impossible for anyone to touch, and gain more freedom with second citizenships, get in touch with Liberty Mundo and book a consultation call. We will help you develop a complete blueprint to organize your life to safeguard your wealth and your freedom. Follow the link in the description for more details. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.